I was about 4 or 5 years old, and my parents had just separated. My mom was living in a 2-bedroom apartment. I had my own room, but I liked sleeping in her bed whenever I was staying with her. Our 2 bedrooms were at the end of the hallway, directly across from each other. Our apartment was on the first floor, and I remember that it was in the middle of the summer, and my mom had a window open in her room. It was directly above the bed, it was directly behind the bed, above the headboard. Anyways, I woke up in the middle of the night and remember sitting up and seeing that our cat was sitting in the doorframe of my mom's room. Her door was open, and you could partially see into my bedroom. It was strange because our cat was a huge snuggler and was typically always in the bed with us. As I was watching him, he walked into my bedroom and meowed. I turned to face my mom and wake her up. In the 3 or 4 seconds it took to wake her up and ask me what was wrong, we both looked back up at the doorframe, and there was a man standing by my door, which was open, making his way out of my bedroom. I still don't know how she managed to do it so quickly, but my mother proceeded to pick me up and literally throw me out of the screen window. Again, we were on the first floor, so it was maybe a 3 or 4 foot drop to the ground. She quickly followed, and we were able to start screaming for help, and someone called 911. The police came, but didn't see any signs of forced entry, only that our door was unlocked, which led them to believe the man had exited that way. But the strange thing was my mom swore up and down that she had locked the door that night with the deadbolt and chain lock. About a week later, she was cleaning the kitchen and opened up our water heater closet and found a notebook with names and drawings, as well as a pair of gloves and some gum wrappers. The man had been in our house and hid until we were asleep. A terrifying but true story I experienced when I was 12 years old. I moved to my dad's when I was 10, and I didn't know anyone in the area, except for the family my dad was friends with. Single mom with 3 kids. Luckily, there was a girl a couple years older than me, 12 at the time I met her, and we got to know each other a little over a couple years. We weren't close, but ended up having the same friends. One night, my friend Rob was hanging out with her and her younger brother. They happened to be in the house alone. My friend's mom was at work, which is where this gets terrifying and sad. Her mother had been helping this one lady through her work and got to know her fairly well. She found out her sister was in a mental institution and was let out recently. The night Rob is hanging out with my friend, they got a knock at the door. My friend thought it was just their mom. She knows because she knocks a certain way when coming in, and answered it without thinking. Rob wasn't supposed to be there, and he took off through the window to his house down the road. He never thought twice about it. Only it wasn't her mom. It was a sister of the lady her mom was helping, and she figured out through talking to her sister where her family lived and her mom's working schedule. She came in, and this is where I don't know the details, and I'm glad I don't. My friend's younger brother got away to the neighbors to call the police. The lady brutally murdered my friend a week from Christmas, decapitated and left her body naked in a bathtub, hit her head. They had to look through the presents, and I don't know where they found it, but they did. I wasn't allowed to go to her funeral. My aunt experienced something similar. She was home alone when she heard someone open the door and was walking in the hallway. Since her husband, my uncle, was not supposed to get home in a few hours, she went downstairs to see if someone was there. She did not see anyone, but outside the door she saw footsteps in the snow leading to the door, but not away from it. This got her nervous. On a second glance, she was unfamiliar with the pair of shoes in the hallway. She ran upstairs and called the police, and when they came and searched through her house, they found the homeless man hiding in a storage room, holding my uncle's shotgun, but luckily he had not found the ammunition. It was hidden in another place. He was arrested, but according to my aunt, it is the scariest thing that has ever happened to her. Alright, before I start reading this one, guys, I just have to let you know, viewer discretion is advised, because, this one's a little gruesome. I should have warned you about the last one, story number 2. That one was a bit gruesome, but this one, guys, might be a little hard to stomach. So, viewer discretion is advised. I was just talking about this today. Scary because of human nature. My neighbor at my old apartment was a state park ranger for years, now retired. Apparently, when he first got the job, there was a younger kid who went missing while out on a camping or hiking trip. They organized a huge search group in the area to no avail, no clues or anything. Kid just missing. A few years go by. Some evidence turns up that wasn't in the direction they originally searched. It was part of this camping equipment. On his off time, my neighbor took to searching the area where it was found, hoping for more clues. Just outside the state park lived a couple in a ramshackle hovel who were quite reclusive and odd. One day my neighbor had to talk to them about something unrelated to the missing kid. He is in their house, which is a mess of junk, no running water, etc. Hard to focus on anything there. While he was talking to this couple, he realizes that the guy's ashtray looks weird. He looks closer and realizes that it's a skull, and it looks small. There's this investigation into the couple, and here's where things get really weird. An investigation shows that they were innocent of killing the kid. He probably died of exposure or dehydration. Apparently, the guy came across the body. Afterwards, he and his dog were after it. When he took the skull, it was recently after death, and apparently was still a head with features, hair, everything. The guy took it and defleshed the darn thing, and took the top off and used it as an ashtray. Apparently, he was well aware there was then current search for a missing child and couldn't recognize the kid from the pictures, but it never dawned on him or his wife to go to the cops and inform them that they found it. He just saw an opportunity for an ashtray. Apparently, he showed them where the remains were, and they scrounged together enough for burial. But kept it quiet so that the family didn't know. Some guy put his Marlboros in their kid's head for 5 years after letting his dog eat the remains. Crazy people, man. I got home from work late one night. Was walking onto my front stoop when I walked right into this huge spider web. At first, I didn't think much of it. I looked down and saw about 20 to 30 baby spiders all over me. I started freaking out. Then noticed the parents sitting in my front door. They were huge, bigger than a quarter. So of course I did not want to use the front door. I run to my back door, throw all my clothes off, and jump in the shower. And then I watched as baby spiders begin falling out of my hair.